Bill Graham here, and today I'm with Genetic Supplement's brand new Pre-Advantage Ultra. This is a product that I'm super proud of because I've had the pleasure of actually devising the formula myself. I want to thank Neil Johnson for giving me the opportunity to work with him on this product, and I truly believe that we are bringing a top innovative product to the market today. So at first I want to go into a little bit of background as to what sort of motivated me to go in and produce a pre-workout product. Well, the industry is saturated with pre-workouts. We see them everywhere. They're heavily marketed. We've got stimulant versions that promise all sorts of things, from enhanced pump to enhanced mental clarity, etc., etc. But whenever we look at the ingredients list, we can see that they're fairly generic proprietary blends that give no real transparency to the consumer as to what they're actually taking. So with genetic supplements, like everything else that we do, we went above and beyond the typical expectations of the usual pre-workout that you would find. From an evidence point of view, in relation to the actual concoction and what we've made the product up of, individual ingredient profiles, we haven't used any proprietary blends, so you've got full transparency. All of the ingredients used, as already mentioned, are evidence-based, so there's evidence behind their use, their dosage, and their implementation in the product. And also as well, the manufacturing processes that have also been used to manufacture some of the ingredients within the product, ensuring that they're from high quality, authoritative sources that you can trust. So we produce two products. We produce a stimulant product and a non-stimulant product. Quite simply, the stimulant product is full of caffeine. We have a dose of 300 milligrams, and we also have a whole list of other ingredients in there. Now, this is more applicable to those that can tolerate caffeine, those that are training earlier on in the day prior to 4 p.m, and those that are really able to tolerate that kind of dosage. On the other hand, we also have the non-stimulatory version, which is completely caffeine-free and comprising various other nootropic and cell volumizing ingredients. So this is really acceptable to be using 24 hours a day if you're working late at night, training late at night, working in the morning, or you're extremely sensitive to caffeine. Both of these products have their purposes, and it's good to alternate between the two of them. As I've talked about many times before, one cannot simply rely on stimulants to get through their energy on a day-to-day basis. It's important to ensure adequate rest, adequate hydration, adequate nutrition, and basically optimal recovery from your training. So if you are pushing through a wall just for the sake of it because your program's written down on paper and you're lacking sleep, you're lacking nutrition, relying on a stimulant is only but going to mask and make the underlying problem worse. So it's very important that you're honest with yourself whenever it comes to sourcing energy from a pre-workout and increased mental clarity. Am I relying on the false energy that I'm getting off a particular stimulant? If so, you are going to fatigue yourself above and beyond what you will. And it's imperative that you learn to rest and back off your training regime. If everything else is optimal, however, your rest, your nutrition, and your recovery, you most certainly can take advantage of the stimulant properties within the stimulant version of Pre-Advantage Ultra, and it will undoubtedly increase your training performance. I've already trial tested this 10 times with different dosages along with some of my clients in order to assess the quality and get feedback and fine-tune and tweak the ingredients. I've also used the non-stimulatory version in both training and non-training individuals, in the sense that how can you perform in this? Did you feel any better? Again, assessing feedback and relaying it back into the product. The products themselves were not just designed for individuals that weight train, they're also designed for personal trainers and for coaches who are actively involved in doing a lot of administration work, a lot of coaching, a lot of talking and communication. So these can be used as a mental booster, so to speak, whenever times of mental workload or workload capacity are at an all-time high. So I find these particularly useful whenever I'm working late at night. I use a non-stimulatory version when I'm writing. I'll also use it before I go on stage if I'm speaking at a public presentation, just to sharpen up my mental skill. Now, whenever it comes to training properties and actually getting the most out of these products, why do we want to use them? Well, if we have increased mental clarity, we can get increased concentration with what we're doing in the gym. We can have improved intent, whenever it comes to getting the most out of an exercise. So if I can go into an exercise more focused, I know that my form and my technique is potentially going to improve. The ability for me to recruit and maximize a host of specific muscle fibers that I'm trying to target specifically is going to be enhanced. And also the fact as well that I can get through the workout if I'm in a calorific deficit, that I have potentially increased energy to do that. We also have the added fat loss benefits of caffeine as well, so it can complement a fat loss regime. And then we have the whole list of other ingredients as well that are also involved in cell volumization and ensuring a metabolic stress is enhanced in the muscle tissue. So these are all certain mechanisms of muscle growth that can be taken advantage of from this particular product. In terms of ingredient list, we have everything in there. We have a whole range of key nootropics, amino acids, creatine, beta-alanine, and a host of ingredients that have a lot of evidence behind them to suggest their ability to improve performance. So for example, you'll see some new ingredients in this, such as alpha GPC, for example, which is absolutely fantastic when it comes to boosting mental capacity and mental workout output. We also have officially registered Creapure, beta-alanine, citrulline maleate, hypozyme. We have a whole host of ingredients. Please feel free to check out the ingredient profile on the list before. This pre-workout is above and beyond what is typically available. Now, whenever it comes to working with other genetic products, this supplement can also be integrated and stacked with the likes of Sustain, which can be used as an inter-workout calorie control supplement. We can also use it with workout food as well, which is a higher calorie supplement that can be used in periods of mass gain and muscle growth. We also can use it with Load Up, which is again additional sources of creatine and additional sources of beta-alanine and citrulline maleate. And we all want to ensure that these ingredients and these key nutrients are delivered to the muscle cells as regularly as possible in order to promote recovery. So please feel free to stack these with any products that you want to in the genetic range. If you do have any questions, please feel free to email me on info@phil-graham.com or simply email Genetic Supplements, and I will look forward to getting back to you. Thank you.